50, 45, there goes Davis.
Oh my God!
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow! Oh my God! Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in everyone to the Dream Wager episode 307. Today is September 16th, 2023. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock, and joining me, our NBA guru, my partner in crime, Elvis Acosta. E, how you doing this morning, kid?
Still, I'm doing great. Yay! Shout out to all my Mexican brothers out there, sisters.
Yes,
my
sir.
second family. Happy Mexican Independence Day, Dill. Let's have a show.
Let's have a show. Shout out to all my Mexican friends out there. I love them. Great day for you guys. So enjoy the day. But Elvis, we got a banger of an episode. We'll recap Thursday Night Football. Very good game, I thought, between the Eagles and Vikings. Got a loaded college football slate as well. And then at the end, we'll give our NFL Week 2 plays. But let's start on that Thursday night game. Eagles get the win at home, 34-28. They don't cover depending on the number you get. If you got the closing line of 6, you pushed. But if you got the 6.5, like we were told you, or the 7, Vikings did backdoor cover. But, you know, overall, real quick on my end, I actually thought Kirk Cousins played really well. 31 for 44. He threw for over 350 yards, 364, 4 touchdowns, no picks. I thought he actually outperformed Jalen Hurts. It was just they couldn't stop the run. As soon as they converted to running the ball, they just ran it down their throat all game. And not with one running back. Swift had a game on my bench, by the way. Fucking Boston Scott had a good game. Rashad Penny had a good game. So talk to me about the Eagles win. What'd you like from what they did and what didn't you really like?
Dill, I'm going to start with what I didn't really like, Dill. I just didn't like the fact they were never really able to get in motion offensively, Dill. Mm-hmm. You know, we saw the Eagles connect a couple deep shots with Devontae Smith, but other than that, Dill really never got the ball, you know, moving, passing the ball. You know, yes, they had a successful running day, Dill, but besides Devontae Smith, you have A.J. Brown, who wasn't happy, by the way, come endgame. 4 balls, 29 yards. Dallas Goedert had 6 receptions, 22 yards. He's getting basically 3-4 yards a catch. That's not good. You're not going anywhere fast with those type of possessions, Dill. So give credit to the Eagles sneaking out a victory at home and, you know, basically running the ball down Minnesota's throat, Dill. But to me, it's cause for concern after witnessing back-to-back weeks, Eagles struggling to move the ball passing. So yeah, Jalen Hurts, you know, he didn't look terrible, Dill, but he doesn't look like the same Jalen Hurts as last year. That worries some a little bit to me. At the end of the day, he still went 18 for 23, which is great, but only 193 yards. Like I said, never really got in rhythm, Dill. And then Minnesota, they just kept shooting themselves in the foot, Dill. Yeah. We had 4 turnovers. I said we. They had 4 turnovers, Dill. You're not going to win a game, especially on the road while you're underdogs. We're turning the ball so many times. The punt return, crucial. The running back losing the fumble, it happens still. But Justin Jefferson, that's just I'm not gonna put blame on Justin Jefferson because that happens. You know, he's just extending the ball. It's like the Dez Bryant catch I caught it against Green Bay. He caught the ball, but him trying to extend it to make it a touchdown makes it incomplete.
Yeah.
And to me, Justin Jefferson, personally, as a fan, I want the ball to be ruled out at the 1 or where he last had full possession of. Yeah, I understand it's a touchback, but I'm not gonna kill Justin Jefferson on it. And then Sweat on that strip sack deal, that's just textbook perfect defense. There, you can't blame Kirk Cousins on that deal. So
no,
if Minnesota don't turn the ball over, hey, Minnesota's walking out of Philadelphia with a win deal. So
yeah,
give credit to Philly, but Minnesota, they just gotta play cleaner ball.
And, they only got 2 sacks, the Eagles, for as good of a D line that they have. That one strip sack, that was one of them. And then they got another one early on. But there was on their third left tackle. It was a backup center. The O-line is banged up. And for only them to let up 2 sacks, I didn't think they played all that bad. Yes, they have a problem not running the ball. They can't run it with
Facts.
Alexander Madison. I like him, but he's just not it right now, and that offensive line is banged up. So obviously they're kind of one-dimensional passing the ball. I thought Addison, another fucking guy on my bench, touchdown. He had a good game. Hawkinson had a good game like we projected. Even KJ Osborne, he had a few drops, but he did have that touchdown. Overall, it was a pretty good game passing wise. And you talk about Jalen Hurts, his QBR was 44%. Yeah, he only missed 5 targets, but early on, it kind of felt like they were sluggish. They got a new OC. They're still trying to find their rhythm a little bit. And when but like you said, take away Devontae Smith, those big chunk yard plays, they didn't really offensively have that big of a day. I thought they were just able to pound and pound and pound the rock. And once they found out that Brian Flores and that defense couldn't stop the run, that's what they did. They ran the ball 48 times for 259 yards. That's an average of 5.5 yards a game. You're not going to win a game if you give up those type of numbers. So,
and the fact that Philadelphia is able to do it with committee, like you said, Rashad Penny,
Boston
Swift,
Scott,
Jalen Hurts was able to get you a couple first downs, multiple touchdowns. So they was just running it down and throw pure old school football, what we witnessed Thursday night.
Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, they're 2-0, nothing to complain about. But, this isn't the same Eagles team that seems like last year. So are we a little concerned, like if they meet up with another powerhouse team like the 49ers or someone, that they could wind up losing?
Dill, in these upcoming weeks, yes, absolutely, Dill. But that's why we have a full season. So I'm not going to. If I'm an Eagles fan, I'm just talking to the Eagles fans' perspective right now. If I'm an Eagles fan, Dylan, I'm not gonna panic. We have all season long to get into flow, get in rhythm. So the fact that we look, you can say mediocre offensively, and able to be 2-0 on top of the division, Dylan, I think that's a win for the Eagles. So I just feel like throughout weeks, maybe come week 6, week 8, week 10, maybe we see that MVP caliber offense once again with Jalen Hurts and company. But right now, though, we're not seeing it. So yes, they could probably lose to one of these great teams still. But I feel like later on, week 8, week 10, maybe the offense will get clicking in all cylinders like we saw last season.
And it doesn't get easier for the Minnesota Vikings. They've lost 2 in a row. Now they go back home. Next week, they verse the Chargers. Another tough game, I think. Then they're on the road against Carolina. Should be an easier game, but we said the same thing about Minnesota against Tampa Bay, and they lost outright. So, and then they play the Chiefs. So tough. Yeah.
And then Jill, then the division. That division is looking good. It's decent.
Well, we could wipe the Minnesota Vikings out, I think, of maybe not the playoffs, but of Super Bowl or whatnot. They got too many holes on defense, I would argue. So tough sledding for the Minnesota Vikings, but they do wind up covering. I go 2-2. TJ Hawkinson winds up cashing. We get there on the over. Kirk Cousins passing attempts, that goes over, but we didn't get there with Maddox. He wind up tearing his pec. He might be out for the season. So another blow to that defense for the Eagles. And we didn't get there with AJ Brown over 5.5 receiving. So 3-2. It was a good Thursday night. How did you do?
I ended up going 1-1 with a possibility of going 2-1 because I had Eagles on the teaser. So I had Jalen Hurts over 249.5 passing. He went under by about 57 yards, 57 yards. And then I took Devontae Smith over 64.5 receiving yards. He went over by a mile just with those 2 catches alone. So 1-1 with a chance to go 2-1 if the Broncos take care of business.
Which I think they should, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But real quick, before we get into our plays, real quick, a word from our sponsor. We are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer. the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick. Just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around the golf with the boys or an elderberry on a Saturday watching college football, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with the Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, let's get to these plays, Elvis. We'll start on college. Got a big slate as usual. I got about 9 plays. I'll let you lead it off first. What do you got, kid?
Dill, let's start at the game that me and you cannot bet. Let's go. Virginia Tech versus Rutgers, Dill. Give me Rutgers at home, minus the 7, Dill. Virginia Tech let me down last week. Rutgers been taking care of business all season on. Dill, give me the Rutgers at home, minus 7.
I love it. My first play, Kansas State minus the 4. I think this is a good spot. Or now they're minus 3.5. So I actually
even
got the
better.
Worst number. It's even better. It is going the opposite way, but I don't care. Missouri's at home. I think Kansas State is a good team, especially defensively up front. Number 15th in the country. They should take care of business on the road. I'll lay the 3.5 for my first play. What else you got, kid?
Dill, let's go to Oklahoma State. Give me Oklahoma State minus 7 versus Southern Alabama, Dill. I think Oklahoma State has a chance to blow this team out, Dill. Give me the minus 7 and sprinkle something on the alternative minus 10.
All right, for my second play, I got 2 plays in the same one. We'll attack the side first. Give me LSU. I'll lay the 9 on the road against Mississippi State. Mississippi State is not a good team this year. LSU, they're looking to bounce back after that Florida State loss. They won last week. I think they're taking it personal now. They need to win out to, remain relevant. They're 14th in the country. And I also think Mississippi State will be able to score some points. So I'm going to go over 54.5 as well. I'll lay the points 9 with the Tigers on the road and also take the over 54.5. So 2 plays for you real quick.
Dill, my final play of the night will be we'll head to Boulder, Colorado, Dill.
Woo!
Colorado State versus Colorado Buffalo. Dill, I was going to stay away from this game just because I thought it was a look-ahead game. You know who the Colorado's playing next, well, the upcoming 2 weeks, with Oregon and USC, Dill. So I thought this was a look-ahead game, but no. The Colorado State head coach had to make it personal. Buddy, you possibly could have walked into Colorado and made some noise.
Yeah.
But you had to make the noise first instead of let your team do the talking. With that being said, give me Colorado minus 23.5, Dill, and let's put a sprinkle on the 30. Just because they made it personal. Dill, no bullshit. I was going to take Colorado State plus the 23. It was at 21. At plus 21.5, Dill. But then he made it personal. Prime is going to give a pre-game speech of the ages. He's talking about he didn't just disrespect my mama. He disrespected everybody's mamas. Because we all wearing glasses and hats.
I love that he brought all the players' hats and sunglasses. That's what I should have wore today. I was telling you before we went live, but yeah, I mean, and it's crazy because I actually like Ravel. I actually think he's done a good job like turning this Colorado State team around, especially last season. But I mean, dude, you're barking up the wrong tree. This is like literally one of the teams you do not want extra ammunition to have against you. On the road in Boulder, game day is there this week. I mean, it was
Lil Wayne performing pre-game.
And Dion said, he goes, listen, it was going to be a friendly business game, Colorado versus Colorado State. See who the better team in the state is. He goes, I actually like that school. He goes, but y'all made it personal. And you know what happens? Look what happened to Matt Rule last week when they made it personal. He flashed the rollie in his face, Shador Smith. You saw that?
Yeah.
Shador Smith went to the middle of the field while they were warming up and just flashed it, and then went out and backed it up. I mean, I wanted to lay it, but I'm gonna take the over 59 in Colorado State. I think Colorado could hang up 40 by themselves in this game. I think Colorado State could get a touchdown or two. You know, Colorado's defense isn't the best, but I think we see a shootout. I'm gonna go over 59 in that game, and
maybe,
then I gotta
maybe Hunter gets a pick six still. You know, add some points right to you.
And I'm also going to take a player prop in this game. I almost got there with Shador Sanders over 2.5 touchdowns last week, but give me Xavier Weaver over 77.5 receiving yards. First game, 6 catches, 118 yards. Last week, 10 catches for 170 yards. This man is having 100 yards today. So 77.5. It was at -115 at BetMGM. So that's where I got it. I think line is moving a little, so get it while you can. But I think that just the number is extremely short. I'll move on if you don't have any more, E. Is that cool?
No. That's all. That's all of my college plays, people.
I'm gonna take another road team, laying 16, Washington. They might actually have the best receiver in the country, I think, especially out wide with Michael Penix at quarterback. He might win the Heisman. And all that Michigan State is dealing with Mel Tucker, him getting fired with the sexual assault. Did you hear about this, by the way?
Nah, Dale, I didn't hear about it. What's going on?
So it's crazy. So he had, I guess, a young lady, or maybe a little older than us, and they were on the phone talking about, I guess she was like working in the athletic director's office and whatnot. She was like an assistant to it, but she worked directly with the team and whatnot. And I guess they had a relationship where they were talking business, but the phone call lasted an hour and 30 minutes, hour and 40 minutes. And apparently while he was on the phone with her, he was trying to have phone sex with her for that long. And he was jerking off while on the phone with her.
All right, let's stop.
And,
continue.
No, but the crazy part is he came out and admitted to it, and there was no proof. Mel Tucker's an idiot. Like, I mean, you deny until like you, Jesus. But yeah, and I think they were looking for a way out because Mel Tucker, I think a year ago, he got that huge contract. I think it was like 60-70 million Michigan State had. So now that's voided. He's not getting any of that money. And, you know, he'll probably end up back at Alabama. He's one of Nick Saban's guys. So he'll probably end up back at Bama as an OC or DC. But yeah, a lot going on there. So I think Washington's going to blow him out of the gate. My next game is give me the Florida Gators. I got them at +7. They're down to 5.5 at home. The Tennessee Volunteers have only won twice in Gainesville since 1970. That's a crazy fucking stat, Elvis. They just don't play well in Gainesville. I think they're live outright. So I got them at +7. They're down to +5.5 right now, but I would even sprinkle a little on the money line. I think they're live. Next game, give me the Mountaineers, baby, at home taking on Pittsburgh. This is one of the best rivalries in sports. I took them on the money line, -105. They're 2.5-point favorites right now. I would lay the 2. I just think at home, this crowd's going to be fucking berserk. I think the Mountaineers take care of business at home. And then the last play for me is I'm going to take another home dog. Give me Houston. +7.5 against TCU. We've already seen TCU's defense get shredded. Yeah,
I was this close taking Houston though. That was my lean. That's my lean.
I think they're another outright. I think this is another team that could win outright at home. I don't trust TCU's offense, and we've seen Houston be a little pesky team so far. So I just like the number. I think it's way too big. Even if TCU does win, I think it's like a Colorado score. They win by like a field goal. So I'll take the 7.5 in my pocket. So yeah, rattle them off again. Kansas State -3.5, LSU -9, LSU, Mississippi State over 54, Washington -16, Florida +5.5, sprinkle on the money line, West Virginia money line, Houston plus 7.5, sprinkle a little on the money line. Colorado State over 59, and Xavier Weaver over 77.5 receiving yards. You want to rattle yours off real quick?
Yeah, Dill. Once again, give me Rutgers -7 at home, -110 against Virginia Tech. Then give me Oklahoma State -7 versus Southern Alabama, and then give me Colorado Buffalo -23.5, minus the house.
I was even looking towards the first half -13. I just think it's going to be a bloodbath.
It might be 20. I'm gonna give some respect. I'm gonna say 24-7 first quarter.
Let's get to it. Week 2 in the NFL, Elvis. We will start with another personal bet between you and me. Green Bay Packers on the road taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons right now, depending on the book that you're looking at, -1.5, -2 at some places. Money line -130 for the Falcons, +110 for the Green Bay Packers. Over under is at 40.5. Second straight week, Green Bay is out with Christian Watson. Aaron Jones doesn't look like he will play either. He got hurt late in the game last week. I'm on the Falcons here. I took them on the money line earlier in the week. Money is coming in on them because of the injury news. I got him at -105, -130, still good. This line, they bounced around all week. Like I said, Christian Watson's out. Aaron Jones doesn't look like he's going to give it a go. Jordan Love, I admit, he's better than I thought, but he can't do it all himself. Romeo Doubs still banged up a little. Besides that, A.J. Dillon, I don't know who they really have to put up points against this Falcons offense. I like this Falcons offense Arthur Smith has put together, and I think the Packers are going to actually have their hands full with their 2 running back with Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson. So I'm also going to go Bijan Robinson over 54.5 rushing yards as well. He had a nice day in week 1. He rushed for 56 yards last week, and I think he could even have a better week this week. So I'm on the Falcons money line, and I'm also going to take Bijan Robinson over 54.5 rushing yards. What do you got, kid?
Dill, give me my dog of the week. Give me the Green Bay Packers on the money line +114. Dill, I ain't gonna lie, people. The fact that Aaron Jones is honestly doubtful for the game is concerning to me. Look, it looks like he's not going to be able to play. Christian Watson doesn't really concerns me, Dill, just because they were able to, take care of business last week on the road in Chicago without him. Looked fine without him, Dill, but with Aaron Jones, Dill, we saw Aaron Jones break those 2 huge plays for a ton of yards, Dill. I think he's the best offensive player on the team. So I think if he's not able to go, Dill, I am concerned a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, Dill. But give me the Packers on the money line, Dill. And I also lean anytime touchdown. Bijan Robinson at -115. Ooh. I just feel like he's just so fast, and he could do it catching or running the ball, Dill. So yeah. I just feel like he's an incredible threat, especially at the goal line. So even though I got Packers winning, I do think Robinson gets in there. So I lean Robinson anytime touchdown. -110. I'm -115. I apologize.
Isn't it crazy how he's a rookie and this is his second week and he's already minus anytime touchdown score?
It's because we saw it. It wasn't like a huge, film on him, but Dill, we saw he was clearly the fastest kid on the field.
Oh, by far. And the way he had that touchdown splitting the defenders, he's special. I'm not going to lie. I had doubts of him being drafted so early, but
we see why. We see why. Yeah. I might not agree with it still, but I could see why.
And let's not forget, Tyler Algier is not a bad running back either. They have a nice 1-2 punch.
And they still got my boy Cordell Patterson, Dill.
He's been hurt a little, but yeah.
He's still on the team,
Yeah, absolutely. And he's like a great gadget guy where you could line up in the backfield on the goal line. You could line him up in the slot, play special teams. Like, the guy could do a lot. Yeah, he does it all. Kind of like a Taysom Hill, but I would argue he's a little better than Taysom Hill. But let's go to the next game, kid. We'll go out down south to Tampa. Buccaneers hosting the Chicago Bears. Buccaneers are laying 2.5 at home, -152 on the money line, +128 for the Chicago Bears. Over under is at 40.5. No play for me here, E, but anything you like.
Dill, give me the Tampa Bay Bucs with Baker Mayfield. Dill, what we witnessed up in Minnesota last week was it was shocking. I was shocked. I was shocked. We knew what the Tampa Bay defense represents when healthy. It's a top 10 defense when healthy. Secondary's nasty. Shaquille Barrett is back healthy. Devin White, one of the best linebackers in the game. We know what the defense represents. Winfield Jr., stud. We know what that defense represents. The question mark is, can Baker go out there win game deal? When I saw Baker Mayfield stiff arm bro to get the first down, I knew that kid is fighting. That kid is trying to win deal. And with that being said, give me the Tampa Bay Bucks on the money deal. I still haven't seen enough from the Chicago team deal. They didn't look good. They didn't look good last week, deal. And you expect me to think they could take that show on the road when that show didn't even show up at home last week? I doubt it. They'll give me the Tampa Bay Bucks minus 135 on the money line. As of right now, people, is at minus 142, minus 146. So shop around for your best odds.
Sorry, I was putting a bet in while we were talking, and I found something in the game that I like. I'm going to go player prop. I'm going to take, on the Bucs side, give me Mike Evans anytime touchdown at plus 185. 185 is ridiculous, I feel like. I feel like that we're getting really good odds. And you're right, the way we saw the heart, and honestly, kind of ballsy, Baker coming out and saying, hey, I know their thing, because it could have went bad. If they lose that game, it's like you had the answers to the test and you still failed. You know what I mean? So I would have kept that to myself thinking back now, but credit Baker Mayfield. He fucking put his shoulder down a bunch of times and said, I think he's kind of won over the locker room, to be honest. If I'm being honest. So I think he has that team moving in the right direction. And for them to be favored against the Chicago, and all the money is on the Bears this week. And I just don't like it, to be honest. So I think Mike Evans to score a touchdown at plus 185 is tremendous value. You know he's going to look for, Baker's going to look for him, especially down in the red zone. So give me Mike Evans anytime touchdown. I like that at plus 185. Let's go to the third game. The Detroit Lions are hosting the Seattle Seahawks. Lions laying 4.5. Seattle plus 4.5 on the road. Over under is at 47.5. Now this line opened up -6. It's been bet all the way down to -4.5. For me, I'm all over Seattle here. I think yesterday I was able to grab a 5.5 earlier in the week, but I think this line, like a look ahead 10 days ago, this was -2.5. I think this is just a huge overreaction to Detroit winning opening week against the Chiefs that, to be honest, I don't want to take anything away, but it wasn't that impressive of a win to me. They were down their 2 of the 3 best players, and Pete Carroll, 60% ATS off a loss and as a dog. I think it's always smart to back week 2 teams coming off double-digit dogs. Seattle just got buried at home. I just don't expect them to come out flat on the road again, especially against a defense that I don't think is all that good, to be honest. So I'm going to take the points in my pocket, and I'm also going to sprinkle a little here on Seahawks outright. I think Seahawks are the right side in this one. What do you got for this game?
Dill, I'm on completely different sides from it, Dill. What I saw in Seattle, Dill, was just not appealing. I expected more from Geno in that offense, Dill, and they never really got it going against you could say a not an impressive defense in the Rams. Besides Aaron Donald, Dill, I can't name you another person on that defensive side of the ball, Dill. So to me, that was concerning. The fact that you wasn't able to show up at home versus a Rams team that we honestly didn't have going over wins in the playoffs, nothing, and you didn't show up at home. It was concerning to me, Dill. So I'm gonna lean the -4.5 with the Lions, Dill. Yes, the Lions was able to sneak one out of Kansas City without Chris Jones and Travis Kelce, but still, that was still more impressive than what the Seattle did against the Rams in my eyes, Dill. So with that being said, I'm gonna lean Detroit -4.5. But you know what, people? This is about giving out money, giving out free plays. And with that being said, people, I ended up teasing them down. I'm playing it safe. I ended up teasing Detroit Lions to +1.5, people. I just feel like, don't get me wrong, I give Seattle a shot, but I think Detroit either wins this game by a field goal. I think it's a field goal game, Dill. So I'll lean with you, but I think Detroit's the right side. Tease Detroit up, and also lean Jahmyr Gibbs over 39.5 rushing yards. Once again, week 1, it was at 38, 39.5. He went over by just a couple yards. I do expect him to get a little more of a load week 2 than week 1 opening day in Kansas City. The crowd is going to be into it. First sold out crowd at Ford Field. I think it's going to be electric. Give me Jahmyr Gibbs over 39.5 rushing and Detroit to handle business.
You read my mind perfect because my next question was, I was like, because Dan Campbell has come out and said as the weeks go on, he will get more burn, Jahmyr Gibbs. So I was going to ask if you think he has a better bounce back game, but you already answered it, and that's one of your props. So let's go on to the next game. We will go to Orchard Park in Buffalo. Buffalo looking to bounce back after that bad loss on Monday night. Laying 8.5 here at home against the Las Vegas Raiders, who just went on the road and won a big game week 1. Over-unders at 47.5. I lean over just because I think this could be a shootout. I expect Josh Allen to have a bounce-back game here, but you laying 8.5 here at home?
Absolutely not, Dill. This might shock Dill what I'm about to say. Dill, I'm going to lean the Raiders plus 8.5 on the road, Dill. We saw the Oakland Raiders. I said Oakland. The Las Vegas Raiders go into Denver. Don't get me wrong. Denver ain't the Buffalo Bills. I'm not trying to make that case, people. But I'm just going to say they went to a hostile environment when the expectations were very high, and they went out there and delivered a victory, Dill. And all I'm saying is I give them a shot to cover the spread in Buffalo, Dill. I lean the Raiders plus 8.5, Dill. What we saw in MetLife, we saw it firsthand, live. Buffalo didn't look good running the ball. Didn't run the ball for shit.
No.
Josh Allen looked bad, still turning the ball over, Dill. Would it shock me if he turns the ball over once or twice against the Raiders, and then the Raiders could backdoor cover? Absolutely not, Dill. So with that being said, whoever's laying the 8.5 with the Bills, good luck to you. Definitely got more balls than me. Dill, I think the right side is Vegas plus 8.5. That's my lean, people. No official play, but for what I saw week 1, I think the Raiders are the play.
Yeah, 8.5 does seem a little egregious, I think. And you got to expect Josh Allen to have a better game than he did week 1. Obviously, the Raiders defense isn't as good as the Jets, but he just can't have another performance like he did.
He turns the ball over once or twice. The Raiders are going to be in the game.
They're going to be live, yeah, because Jimmy G, as much shit as I give him, he doesn't turn the ball over that much. He's a game manager, and he takes care of the ball. He might not blow you out with his stats, but I think the Buffalo's a good teaser spot. Get him down to under a field goal, minus 2.5. I think they could win by a field goal. I think they win the game, but laying 9 is, like you said, it's kind of ballsy. Good game here. Let's go out to Tennessee. The Titans are hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers laying 2.5 on the road. It was 3.5. It's come down. Money line for the Chargers, minus 148, plus 126 on the other side for the home dog. Titans over under is at 45. I was telling you yesterday, I just want to take Tennessee so bad as dogs every time, but I just don't feel comfortable laying points with the Chargers right now until they show me that they could at home, on the road. They can't even win and cover at home. So now you're telling me they're going to go out on the road and cover against Vrabel and that defense? I'm not saying they have an amazing offense with Tannehill, and if he turns the ball over 3 times, but let's be honest, this Charger defense did not look good at all. Like, Joey Bosa, what the hell are you doing? Khalil Mack is getting old. J.C. Jackson making stupid penalties. So I don't know, man. I really don't know that 1 week, and I know it was against a good Miami team, but that week 1 loss was very concerning, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They couldn't stop a nosebleed. So I want nothing to do with this game. If anything, maybe I was leaning towards Derrick Henry over 17.5 rush attempts. I do think they're going to run the ball at home a lot, and he had over 20 carries last week. So 17.5, it's a little chalky at minus 120, but I think Derrick Henry could get 18, 19 carries. So that's the only way I would lean. How about you?
Dill, I am concerned a little bit. I ended up teasing the Chargers to plus 3.5, Dill, with the Detroit Lions. Remember, I ended up teasing Detroit Lions. I ended up teasing with the Chargers. So the Chargers at to plus 3.5 and the Lions to plus 1.5. Two-way 6-point teaser at minus 134 deal. What concerns me to me, I would have laid the minus 2.5, minus 3 with the Chargers deal. But what concerns me as of right now, Austin Eckler might be ruled out for the game tomorrow. So you got Joshua Kelly filling in. That's why the line has moved, Dylan, and people listening out there. So be careful. Just because me personally, I think Austin Eckler provides a ton of different ways to explode in that offense. They're running, passing. So I do agree with the line being moved. I ain't gonna lie, people. I did love Chargers more yesterday than this morning when I found out Austin Eckler won't be available for the Tennessee game on the road. I think it's huge, though. Tennessee are live, but I still like the Chargers to take care of business on the road.
It's all the question mark about Tannehill, how he's going to do. We know Tennessee has a good run defense, and like you said, likely 99%, or I want to say 99, 90% no Austin Eckler, which means they're going to pass the ball a lot. You know what I mean? So I think Derrick Henry's going to run the ball a lot as well. So I would lean his rush attempts. Ooh, battle of the rookies. Let's go down to Houston. The Texans hosting the Indianapolis Colts. Line has flipped every other day. One day the Colts are favored. The next the Texans are favorite. It keeps flip-flopping. Right now, Texans are a -1 favorite, -120 on the money line, +102 for the Indianapolis Colts. Over-under is at 39.5. I mean, I get Houston, they couldn't score a touchdown, but that defense looked really good. So did Indianapolis, but I don't know. Anthony Richardson looked kind of banged up last week. He is going to play, but I don't know, man. I really wanted to back Houston here at home. I just think offensively, especially with Dameon Pierce, I think they have more weapons offensively, and I think they could hang around a little better at home. So nothing official. I do lean with the home favorite Texans -120 on the money line, but nothing official. What do you got here?
Still, give me another dog. Give me the Indianapolis Colts on the road, +102 on the money line. I ended up taking the -1. Take a -1 plus. I take them plus on the money line as of now, people. Still, what we saw last week. We saw the Texans struggle defensively. They look good. Want to give credit there. Defensively, they look good, but offensively, they struggled, And then we saw Indianapolis, struggle a little bit in the first quarter, but finally getting rhythm second, third, and kind of late in the game, still. So I kind of saw I kind of like what I saw for Indianapolis, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We really know what they represent. And then offensively, Anthony Richardson, out of all the rookies week one, he was the most impressive in my eyes, still. So I'm going to go with the rookie deal. Remember, this is the same coordinator Jalen Hurts has last year. Maybe he could spice it up, Dylan. I have a feeling the Colts are going to be able to put up points on the board. I think Anthony Richardson just outplays C.J. Stroud just for tomorrow. Maybe not the whole season, but week one and week two, I think Anthony Richardson is just going to be playing a little better football than C.J. Stroud is right now. Give me the Colts on the money line.
Should be a good game.
Should be, facts.
Let's go out. Big AFC North division showdown here in Cincinnati. Who day? Cincinnati Bengals laying 3 at home against the Baltimore Ravens. -164 for the Cincinnati Bengals, +138 on the money line for the Ravens, over under 46.5. Now, both offenses last week kind of look sluggish. I know Baltimore got away. They played Houston, but offensively, even Lamar, I think the first quarter and a half, even the first half, didn't look the best. He was holding on to the ball outside. He fumbled it twice. Zay Flowers looks legit. I'll say that. Zay Flowers looks like he could be a number one down the road, but Odell had a nice catch as well. Man, I tease the Baltimore Ravens to +9 because I think this is a great teaser spot. I do think Cincinnati will look better, but that defense for Baltimore is no joke. They have, I don't want to say best because I think the 49ers do, but maybe the second or third best linebacker crew with Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith. They were flying around the field last week, and I think they could cause havoc against that offensive line and that offense. Now, I expect Joe Burrow to have a much better game, Jamar Chase to have a better game, but I don't know. I think Baltimore can hang around, and John Harbaugh as a dog, especially in division, he's a very pesky, great coach. I think they do have the coaching advantage there. I could be a field goal game. I want to take the +3, but I have Baltimore Ravens in a teaser up to 9. So that's how I'm going to play this game. What about you?
Dill, give me the Baltimore Ravens +3.5. I ended up taking the +3.5 earlier in the week, Dill. I'm gonna be honest. Give me the +3 for the people listening. I still like them +3, and then we get sprinkle on the money line, Dill. Another dog who I think could take care of business on the road. I think Baltimore is just what we saw. Cincinnati played like I understand it was in the rain. I understand Myles Garrett had himself a day. I understand it was pouring, but people, they did not look good. Joe Burrow did not play not one snap in the preseason. To be honest, people, I think he needed to. I understand he had the injury, but they did not look well. When the kid goes out there and throws for 83 passing yards, people, all I'm gonna say is I could give you 83 passing yards out there. So that's my thing. It was concerning. I think Baltimore goes in there and makes it a show. Give me Baltimore +3, +3.5, and then even get a sprinkle on the money line.
Yeah, I was even looking at a few other plays as well. I mean, one also thing I wanted to, how long are we going to continue to use that as an excuse that they didn't play well? It's not like Deshaun Watson. He got to play in the same weather.
Exactly.
So I'm not speaking directly to you, but people out there, I've heard it all week. All the conditions. What do you mean? Deshaun Watson had to play in that, and he played fine. So what are we talking about here? I also lean the under 46.5. I do think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I was thinking Jamar Chase over 6.5 receptions as well. I didn't get to the window with it, but I was just looking at his numbers last week. Even though he barely had anything, he was still targeted 9 times. You know, Baltimore's defense, they're better against the run. They have a weaker secondary than normal. They allowed 19 receptions to the Houston Texans receivers last week. Marlon Humphrey, he's out again for that secondary for the Ravens. So, and Jamar Chase also has a good record against the Baltimore Ravens. He's gone over this line 3 out of 3 games versus Baltimore last season. So, you know, I think they're better against the run, the Ravens, than they are against the pass. So I would lean Jamar Chase over 6.5 receptions at -130. Let's go to the next game. Last 1 o'clock game. Good one. We only got a few good games, I would say, in the 1 o'clock window. Jacksonville Jaguars hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs laying 3.5 on the road. Money line -180, +155 for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over under is at 51.5. Elvis, I'll let you lead this one off. What do you got?
Dill, this was a tough one to come down. I don't have a play officially on the side or the total, Dill. But I'm going to be honest, I'm going to lean Jacksonville +3.5. I understand Kansas City's getting their 2 big dogs back in Chris Jones and Travis Kelce, Dill. But I just have a feeling about this Jacksonville team could possibly make it close. I could see a 27-24 ball game here, and Kansas City might walk out with the victory, Dill. So I'll lean Jacksonville +3.5, Dill. And I know me and you probably have a similar feeling on a player prop, so I'll let you start it off there.
Yeah, the player prop I think we're both on is Calvin Ridley over 68.5 receiving yards. You know, this is a bad secondary with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Calvin Ridley is clear the new number 1 in Jacksonville. No, bad secondary for the Chiefs, excuse me. So I'm going to go over his receiving yards, 68.5. It's up to 69 right now. But last week, 8 catches on 11 targets. He went over 100 yards. He had a touchdown. Even though Chris Jones is back, I still think Trevor Lawrence is going to look for him a lot. I expect another double-digit targets, another 100-yard game. So 68.5 just seemed a little low. I thought they were going to put it up more, but give me 68.5 receiving yards for Calvin Ridley. And earlier in the week, I'm all over the Chiefs here. I think they bounce back. I laid the 2.5 when the lines opened up. I like it up to 3. I would buy the point down to get it to 3. I don't like the 3.5 lane, but when Mahomes is a 3-point favorite or shorter in his career, 19-6-1 ATS, and he's 13-3 straight up after a loss with an average win of 15 points per game. So coming off a win or coming off a loss, he usually wins and wins big. So this Jag defense and the secondary, like I said, is very concerning. I think Mahomes will shred them, especially with the new number one and Travis Kelce back in the fold. So gonna lay it with the Chiefs here. And you're on Calvin Ridley as well, correct?
Yeah, I'm on Calvin Ridley. I ended up catching that 69.5
Yeah.
people. I'm going to agree with everything Dylan says. I expect him to be around anywhere from 80 to 100 yards.
All right, let's go to the 4 o'clock window. We got 4 games in the 4 o'clock window. We'll start in LA where the Rams are hosting the 49ers. 49ers laying 7 on the road. Over under is at 44.5. Elvis, we know the whole trend where Sean McVay, he just doesn't have Kyle Shanahan's number. I think this is a blowout here, to be honest. I didn't lay the 7. It's a good teaser spot to get him down to 1, which is what I did. I teased them down and the Ravens up. That's my two-way teaser. But I also like Christian McCaffrey over 101.5 receiving and rushing yards. It's at minus 115. But, this 49ers offensive line isn't the greatest, but Brock Purdy, I don't think he's going to be under pressure a lot. He gets the ball out quickly. Despite the Rams, being mediocre, I think he goes over this number. He's gone over this number dating back to last season for the last 7 games in a row. So he's going to get it, and he's got it twice. The 2 games that he played against the Rams, first game, receiving rushing, he had 158 total yards. The second game, he had 149 total rushing yards. 101, it just seems a little disrespectful. So give me over 101.5 receiving rushing.
Dill, I love it, Dill. I ended up taking CMC over 68.5 rushing yards. I feel like this number is too low. I think last week he had like $122. So the fact that his over under is basically damn near half of his last week total, it's just laughable to me. So give me Christian McCaffrey over 68.5 rushing yards, Dill. And then with the 49ers, Dill, I ended up playing it safe. The Rams looked good last week. Took care of business on the road at the 12th man in Seattle. Now they're back in LA. I know the crowd is going to be in there hyped up, but a lot of 49ers fans will make the drive down to LA as well, people. So, Dill, I ended up playing it safe. Give me tease the 49ers down to minus 1.5.
Yeah.
And a two-way 6-point teaser. So tease San Francisco to minus 1.5 and Christian McCaffrey over 68.5 rushing yards. And let's be honest, people, I also like Brandon Ayuk over as well. It's around 70 yards last time I checked. Don't have the exact number on me right now, but for what we saw week 1 performance, I think Brandon Ayuk should be the number 1 target.
100%. I love it. Let's go out to the desert. Arizona Cardinals hosting the New York Giants. Giants looking to score a touchdown or just any type of points this week. Giants laying 4.5 on the road. It's been bet down. They opened up at 5.5. It's come down. Money is coming in on Arizona, and I understand why, to be honest. 5.5 with a team that just laid a goose egg. Giants should be the favorite, but 5.5 seems extremely
on the road.
Yeah, on the road, especially when Arizona showed a lot of fight against Washington. Not saying Washington is the best team, but they were in the game. They were actually leading most of the game. So over under 39.5. I want nothing to do with this. This line smells to me. Honestly, I would take the points with Arizona or tease them up to like 10.5. But yeah, I got nothing here.
So I ended up teasing the New York Giants down. So give me the New York Giants to +2, people. That's my two-way 6-point teaser at minus 134 at 4 o'clock window. Both 4 or 5 start times. The San Francisco 49ers to minus 1.5 with the New York Giants to +2 at minus 134.
Let's go out to Arlington, Texas, where the Cowboys host my New York Jets. Dallas laying 8.5 now. Over under is at 39. So it opened up at 9.5. That's when I hammered the Jets 9.5. I also like the under 30. I got 39.5. It's come down a point. Two elite defenses. Like I said, Cowboys held the Giants to 0 points at home. Jets held Josh Allen to 16 points and forced 4 turnovers. Both defenses have elite pass rush and they both have elite secondary. So I don't know. I just think the Jets are going to play very old school football from here out on. They're going to run the football and play good defense. They're going to ask Zach Wilson to make 10, 15 throws. Not a lot. Just be a game manager. I think I think they're going to be in the game. If the defense is playing like it did, I think they're going to be in the game. 9.5 just seems extremely too much. You could tease them up. I tease them to 15.5 as well. Jets, now for the under. Wilson, when starting with a total of 44 or below, is 8-4 to the under. Jets games with total of 40 or below, 12-5 to the under, including 7 of the 9 games Zach Wilson started. So whenever Zach Wilson is in, it's going to be a lower scoring game. You got Minka Parsons on the other side. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. Week 2 unders with a total of 40 or below since 2004. 45-16, hitting over 75%. Give me just plus the points, and I'll also take the under here in the game.
Dill, I agree with you, Dill. I'm not ballsy enough to lay the plus 9.5 with the Jets, but I do like it. Give me the under 39.5, people. I still like it at 38.5. This is a 20-13 game all over it, people. Shit, maybe 17-10. Because the Jets defense is going to be flying. They're going to be motivated. They have a reason to play. They already want to know Zach Wilson. Hey, if he doesn't turn the ball over, Dill, I'll give you a shot. Not only to cover the 9.5, to be in position to win the game. If he doesn't turn the ball over, Dill, Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, pretty good running game. Offensive line, pretty damn good. Secondary could be one of the best in the league. Defense could be one of the best in the league. Dill, like I said, if Aaron Rodgers was back there, this will be a whole different line.
With
people.
Aaron Rodgers, the Cowboys were only a 2.5 point favorite.
And to be honest, after it makes sense. I agree.
It makes sense.
But still, it's just Zach Wilson. You know, if we saw the Cowboys able to turn over the Giants so easily last week, I just have a feeling they could possibly do the same. I doubt it. But I just have a feeling they could do the same. With that being said, give me the under 39.5, and then give me Breece Hall over 36.5 rushing yards at minus 120. The fact that this number is so low, shocking to me. This kid had over 100 last week. Dalvin Cook, he doesn't look ready yet. I'm not going to say the kid he's out of shape or whatever, but all I'm saying, Breece Hall looks like the better running back out of the two at the moment. So give me Breece Hall over 36.5 rushing yards at minus 120.
I love it. I even see a minus 110 out there for 36.5 rushing yards. You convinced me. I think this number is too low. I think we're getting a discount because he's like a timeshare running back for now with Dalvin Cook and Michael Carter. But I just think we're going to run the ball, especially as 9 point or 8.5 now point dogs. I just think Breece Hall might be a top 5 running back now, definitely a top 10. So I just think what we saw Monday night, when he hits the hole, he's gone. He turns up the Jets and he's gone. He's hit this number dating back to last season, 7 weeks in a row when he was playing and not injured. So I love it, man. I think the number is extremely low. The last time he went under this number was 9-11 last year against Baltimore, week 1, where he rushed for 23 yards. But anything after that, Cleveland, 50 yards. Cincinnati, 39. Pittsburgh, good run defense, 66. Miami, 97. Green Bay at 116. Denver, 72. And then he got hurt. But he was cruising. He was going to hit this number in every one. So 36.5. I agree. I think that's a very low number. I'll tell you on that one. Last game on the 4 o'clock slate, we'll go out to Mile High. Denver Broncos laying 3.5 at home against the Washington Redskins. Minus 184 on the money line for the Broncos, plus 154 for the Redskins. Over under is at 38.5. Now, I do like usually to back the Broncos in altitude early on in the season, but I don't know. They scare me. I don't know if Sean Payton, Jerry Jeudy still banged up a little. I just don't know what's wrong with Sean Payton and Russell. I mean, it's not so much Sean Payton, so much Russell Wilson. The offense didn't look good. Obviously, we know the defense is going to be there. They should have won the game last week. I don't know. It seems like another field goal type of game. So I would honestly tease the Washington Redskins up to 9.5, and I think that you're in good position there. But laying 3.5, I want nothing to do with this game.
Yeah, Dale. I ended up teasing the Denver Broncos up. Excuse me, just because Still, if the Denver Broncos don't win this game at home
They're
versus
in
Sam
trouble.
Howell, no, Russell Wilson's job is in jeopardy. You start the season 0-2 at home, your job is in jeopardy. It's no more ifs, ands, or buts. You won 5 games last season. You look bad week 1. You should have won against the Raiders. No. All right, so now here's your second chance.
All right.
You got the Washington Commanders with Sam Howell at quarterback.
Don't disrespect my boy.
I'm not disrespecting them. All I'm saying is the Denver Broncos should take care of business handily. That's all I'm saying. No disrespect to the Washington Commanders / Redskins, but Sean Payton, Russell Wilson, that defense is just steps ahead of what the Commanders are trotting out to the field. That's all I'm saying. So if Russell Wilson not just covers the spread, let me rephrase that. Win the game, because I don't even think y'all gonna beat them by 3.5. Win the game. If you don't go out there and win this game, be ready to hit the bench, because Sean Payton is not gonna be patient.
No, he's not. Which he shouldn't.
You put up 16 points last week. Yeah. You averaged 16 points last year for the whole season. I guarantee Sean Payton is not going to let you score 16 points.
No, because at the end of the day, his job is down in jeopardy if they wind up losing 2, especially at home.
Still, if I guarantee this, if Denver Broncos go out there and lose this game, scoring under 16 points, there's going to be questions come Monday. Is Sean Payton even an offensive genius?
I agree. And let's not forget, Ron Rivera's looking for win number 100. So he's 99-90 as a 52% winning record in the playoffs. He's 3-5, but he's looking for win number 100. Riverboat Ron Rivera. Excuse me, got the hiccups. But yeah, I think this is going to be a very interesting game. Jesus.
So with that being said, people, I teased the Denver's up to plus 2.5 with my Phillies play. This is a must win. To me, this is no if, ands, or but. You can win sloppy, but you lose this game, I guarantee come Tuesday morning, we might be hearing conversations that Russell Wilson is fighting for his job.
And we usually don't say must win in week 2, but I agree with you. I think losing the way they're losing, it's not losing. It's
if you lose 34-37,
cool.
Cool. Yeah. But bro, you can't go out there and lose a game and score less than 16 points again.
Because it seems like it's the same shit that it was last season.
Exactly.
Sunday Night Football in New England, wearing the alternate red jerseys. I love the red jerseys for the Patriots. Dolphins are wearing their alternates as well. I don't know what they look like, but they're probably ugly. Dolphins laying 3 on the road in Gillette Stadium, minus 154 for the Dolphins on the money line, plus 130 for the New England Patriots. Over under is at 46.5. Taking the home dog.
Still, I end up staying away from this game because I don't want to bet with my heart, people.
Tua does have good record against Bill Belichick.
Dill, he does, and it's September. It's early, Dill. You gotta understand, people. I'm a Patriots fan. So, of course, I'm going to tell you take the +3 with the Patriots. Sprinkle something on the money line. But, people, I can't just not lie to y'all. And what we witnessed last week in L.A., Tua and Tyreek and them look good. Offensively, they look good. Defensively, I feel like we could put some points on the board, Dill. So with that being said, I ended up staying away from the side. But Dill, let me lean the over 46.5, Dill. Don't get me wrong, I do have confidence in Bill Belichick in our defense, Dill. But would it shock me if it's a 27-24 ball game? Absolutely not, Dill. So I'm going to lean the over 46.5. I think the Patriots are going to be able to put up points. And to be honest, I think Tua and now offense is going to be able to put up some points as well, Dill.
I do think the defense will cause a little more havoc than the Chargers did. I think you guys are going to perform better than the Chargers.
Way better, because they're still going to put up some points.
Just, hey, I know I advocated don't play man defense. I don't even think zone defense is going to help. Like, I think you're going to have to double, but then it leaves Jalen Waddle open. They got so many weapons. And if Tua has time, that's King Tua now. I love his little fight back after to the reporter. They said, "Oh, what do you say about the critics who say you can't throw the deep ball?" He goes 446 yards. That's what he threw for. So I love it. I love it. Yeah, and we got 2 Monday night football games, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Elvis, good luck. A lot of football tomorrow and today, so good luck. Can't wait to watch the games. Before, on our way out, I got 3 baseball plays for you real quick. Blue Jays money line -125. Give me the Phillies -115, and I'm going to take the over in the Tigers and Angels over 8 at -110. By the way, did you hear Shohei Ohtani
Out.
cleared his locker?
Still,
Wow.
still
And
to
good
be
news for you, real quick. Real quick. They said since he has that sponsorship with New Balance, the founder and president of New Balance lives in New England in the Boston area, and he said Boston might be a destination for Shohei. So
come
if
on
you
now.
guys get him,
Still, we have a tradition. Remember Daisuke?
Daisuke Matsuzaka, of course,
Come
my
on
boy.
now. Come on now. Do we have these things? Remember our closer when we won the World Series in 2017?
You even have a Japanese guy now.
Come
the
on.
guy,
Yeah,
I don't know how to pronounce him.
The left fielder, right fielder, the outfielder.
Yeah.
He's a stud. Still, I'm telling you, they've been doing it for years. I could count back to 2008. I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, man, I love it. By the way, WNBA playoffs started. All 3 of the 4 favorites covered. Going right back to the well, give me Aces and Sky. This is for Sunday. Aces and Sky, first half over 85.5. It went way over the first game. I got it at 86. It's at 85.5. Aces were just shooting the lights out of the gym. So going to go right back to the well. Aces at home, first half overs are cash cows. Any last bets before we get out of here, kid?
Dill, I got a baseball play. Dill, ended up just having one for today. Dill, give me the Philadelphia Phillies -123 on the money line on the road against the St. Louis Cardinals. Dill, the Cardinals just been disappointing all along. Philly got something to fight for. Give me the Phillies.
Yeah, and they're fighting for a playoff spot in that wild card race. Love it. I got it at -115, still at -123, -125. Still like the play. Elvis, thank you so much. That's going to do it for this Saturday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll recap the games, see how we did. We'll give out our best bets for not 1, but 2 Monday night games tomorrow. So please follow along our social media, X. Now it's instead of Twitter, it's X and Instagram at the Dream Wager. You can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. We go live every Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday on YouTube, youtube.com/the Dream Wager. Subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great day. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you down the road. Peace.